Hello everybody and welcome to another general vlog video. So we're going on tonight. It's actually 4 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to show you the seam that's behind you because it's a full length seam and it was really bad. I know I've showed it in previous videos. I was not happy with it. It's almost fixed now. I will show you that in this video. But I found another seam. It doesn't need to be really repaired because there's going to be a door put in there and there'll be trim there. That'll all get cut out anyways. But for sake of video, and since I screwed up on the other seam behind you and didn't show you that, then anyways, on with the program. I'm going to try to get you over here on this side of the bed. Yes, we're in my bedroom. Yes, it is still my bedroom. And yes, I am trying to make it work. All right, let's see. It'll be over here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I don't even know if I can zoom in on this. Let me try. Nope, it says I cannot. Okay, so let's see. In the camera, the seam is right there. It's pretty bad. I know you can't see it that well in video, but it is really bad. We did the rock test on it the other day in a video. We'll do that again. Let's see if I can't get you down here where I need you to be. Yeah, you can kind of see that seam. Let's see, I'll put my shadow on it if I can. Right there with my shadow. All right, so I'm basically going to show you if you've got textured walls and you got a seam that looks like this, I'm basically going to show you how to fix it. Now, I'm kind of, as you can see, I'm sitting on my bed. There's my TV temporarily, up on 2x4s because of Roku on the bottom. So, I'm going to basically take this and show you the rock test. Here, see that seam sticks out of there a good 1/4 of an inch or more. It's not really that loose. Well, yeah, right there it is. It's not really that loose, but I'm going to fix it just to show you how to fix it. I had drywall mud down here. But basically all you need is a razor knife. I like a metal thin putty knife. And by thin, I mean skinny. All right, let me get down here on the floor. This will look really funny. Oh, goodness gracious. Now, normally, I don't like to go all the way up to the top or all the way down to the bottom. So, but I am going to go all the way up to the top on this one because it needs it. And I have to fill in this line that's underneath here anyways that you guys can't see at this moment. So we'll start with going up basically 2 finger widths on each side. You can go wider. I wouldn't recommend any narrower because basically what there is there's drywall tape underneath here. And we know how wide drywall tape is. So you want to try to cut that tape out of there. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to score kind of heavily all the way down. Well, those didn't line up for nothing, but it'll work. And then I'm going to go off to the other side and do the same thing. Now, I am not going all the way to the bottom. I know you can't see that really well, especially with my big belly there. But I'm going within about 1 inch of the bottom. So now that I've done that, I'm going to cut my top. And I'm going to try to get it exactly where it'll come off. I'm going to take my razor blade knife and I'm going to poke it in and try to see how easy that come apart. That's because that drywall tape is not sticking to the OSB because drywall tape is not meant for OSB. Wood, drywall, 2 different things. So now I'm going to try to take that down. It's coming off very easy. A little bit down at the bottom didn't come off, but that's what we're trying to replace. That's the mesh drywall mud. All right. So now I got my razor or my putty knife. I'm going to try to get this ledge off. right here. And it does not want to come off. So it is on there. Okay, then I'm going to just kind of dust it off a little bit. I'm going to check and make sure that the joint is screwed. And I can see screws everywhere in here. So I know the joint is nice and screwed. It's very sturdy. And then I'm going to take and move this stuff off the drywall bucket and close my razor blade knife. All right, now I got no choice but to just throw my hands in this stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting me a big old scoop of it. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to go up as high as I can and start pushing it in that little void that we made. Now, I know that's only like, a 1/16 of an inch deep. I'll show you here in just a minute. Boy, I tell you what, I really need to get farther away from this crack. I just can't because of my bed, and I don't want to move my bed. So, we're going to do the best that we can, and I think I got it. Now, I'm going to take my large putty knife, and I'm sure by now it's not called a putty knife when it gets that large, but I'm going to take this drywall knife, and I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to scrape up. I'm trying to get the majority of it off there, and you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So I go all the way up to the top, and that's how much I just took off. Now we're not going to use that. It's going to go back in the bucket. Now I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to try to, there we go, do the same thing again. But now I've gotten some kind of junk in it, so I'm going to fill that in. And then that's just basically it. All I'm trying to do is fill that void of, let's see, I'm trying to figure out what to do with all my tools here. All I'm trying to do is fill that void of that right there, which is, I'm going to roughly say, not even 1/16 of an inch. It's thin. It's about not quite as thick as cardboard, but like cardstock. You know, it'd be about that thick. So all I try to do is fill that. Now we're going to leave that alone all night. But I have another area that's already been done to show you how to do this. But now you guys get to watch me try to get up, try not to make a mess, and try not to touch my bed. And try not to drag my knees through what's in front of me. This is going to be almost impossible. This ought to make for a funny video right here, because I'm kind of stuck. So, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this without touching everything. And I think it's just to slide down that way to get my knee out past this drywall mud that's down here. Okay, I think maybe now I can do it without making a mess. Isn't this funny? Come on, people. This deserves a like and a subscribe and a comment down below and all that good stuff. Come on. Look what I'm doing for all of this. All right, here we go. You know what I should do? Real quick. Well, I've already got my hands dirty. Well, I'd have to use this hand. All right, we'll wait on that. Woo! I actually felt myself shaking trying to get up on that one. Okay, now I'm going to try to pause this. That was up close and personal. So I can go wash my hands. Okay, so now we've moved down to the scene that I wish I would remember to film for you guys. So basically what I did, as you can see, I cut the strip out. And then I went over it, skimmed it like we just did that one over there. Got it flat, and it's pretty flat. I don't feel anything that is in my way. Now from here up, I've already textured. But from here down, I haven't. So now, what this allows me to do, instead of having a void there that I'm trying to texture that's going to show up in my, the void is going to show up in my texturing if I don't do it exactly perfect. This just makes it a lot easier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some texturing. I just washed my hands and just got them dirty again. So now we're going to put this texturing on there. Not really thick, but kind of thick. But we're going to go out about 8 to 10 inches on each side of where we was. And I'll explain why here in just a minute. It helps you match the texturing that's already on the wall. And basically what we want is this to be unnoticeably, undetectable, and everything. I mean, we want it to look good, right? I mean, we're working our butt off to do this. We definitely don't want it to be noticeable. I say working our butt off. This isn't that hard to do. All right, so I'm going to have to get my other hand dirty. So that's going to make it harder to get up. But sometimes you just need, oh, I just dropped a big old clob on the floor and got a bunch of it on my leg. So we're going really good so far. So once I'm done with this, I got a few little other spots I want to show you guys. That was touch-ups on the wall. Okay, now that I've got it smeared on there pretty good, and we're, 6, 8, 10 inches away from the center of the line, now I'm going to take the blade of my hand, right here, and I'm going to thin it down. We don't need it that thick. And I'll show you at the end. There's half of it. There's how much more I've taken off. I'm wiping that back into the bucket. All right, so once we get this to where we've got the majority of it off, then we're going to clean both hands off about the best that we can. I like to use my right hand to texture with. And if you look at these, and maybe when I get up and I wash off, I'll zoom in and show you. There's swirls on this texture. And basically, I can tell that whoever was doing this was going to the left with their hand. And over here, they were going to the left with their hand. So they probably used their right hand if they're right-handed and did all of this. So that's where we're going to start with. I can see that their texturing is not that big. Their swirls are roughly about that big around. And I bleed it into their swirls. And I match their swirls. So from a distance, you can't tell that this has been textured. Because I'm matching their texture now. It looks a little tight in the center. Okay. I don't like the looks of this here in the center, so I'm going to run it the other way. Nope, and then here I need to come back the other way. That looks like too much of a pattern. And that's just it. I can see that they didn't have a pattern. And by they, I mean, my stepmom is the one that did all this texturing. I kind of know what her technique was as it was because she taught me how to do it in my own home. All right, so now I got to do this lower. I just don't have enough room to work with my right hand the way that I want. That looks pretty good. Now I have textured this in with her texture. And I'll show you better on this up on the wall where I can actually zoom in. Of course, I go around and I kind of find the edges down just a little bit. I don't like right here. So that looks pretty good to me, I think. I'm trying to make sure I got no random patterns. Like right here, I can see her line is really defined there. So I will blend those in with mine. And basically what that does, now I want to make sure that I'm blended in with what I did at the top. And I am. All right, I think that's good. Once again, now I got to get up off the ground with two nasty hands. All right, let me go clean up and wash everything. Can I even touch you guys and pause this? All right, so I've got you kind of level here. There used to be, when I moved here, there was a double switch here. One was outside light, and the other one was the light above, right up here. And it didn't make any sense to me, so I got rid of the light, put a plug up there for my TV, and then I put a plug here instead of a switch. But I figured this way, I can kind of show you the pattern that they used, my stepmom used when she textured. Like, I don't know if you can see it. I brought a light in. And what's really weird is if I use that light this way, it works. If I click it down once, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's fluttering on TV. All right. So you can see the patterns right here, the swirl marks. Now over here, they're not much because that was behind door trim and she knew that. So she didn't really worry about much of a pattern. Let's get you up here. All right. Now, there we go. At least on my end, it looks good. You can see the little swirl patterns. And I can tell that she was going counterclockwise with all this because I can see where her fingers lifted off when she was doing this. So that's what I'm going to try to match right here. And you can see that looks pretty ugly. But once I match it, you'll never be able to tell it once it's painted. So I got to get some drywall mud on my hand, and I got to hold this light, and I got to try to do this all at once and film it. But hopefully you guys can kind of see the matching pattern. And like I said, you want to go out and past everything. You're not trying to match these little designs. You're trying to match these designs up here. Especially like this one right here. That's a good pattern to match. So give me just a second. Let me get some mud and get it slapped on there, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, well, I done messed up. I turned the whole camera off and I didn't hit pause, and so now I've got to splice this in together, but you guys won't even recognize it, I don't think. So anyways, back to where we was. I don't have my flashlight yet. Let me just get my mud on there. And like I said, you want to go a little bit past your damaged area. Now I've got all this mud left. Let me get rid of it. All right. Then once again, we're going to take the blade of our hand, which I have to use my other hand now because that's the way that I work comfortably. And we're going to blade it back off. We're going to go thin, not paper thin, but we're going to go thin enough that we can still texture and not be bulbous, not stick out. So I took that much off. Okay, now, I'll try to get my flashlight here. All right, so now we're concentrating on the circles that are out here. And like I said, I can see which way that she went. She went counterclockwise on most of them. So I'm going to start that whole pattern counterclockwise. And I'm just going to make some kind of a pattern. I'm going to do it on the outskirts. And then I'm going to go the opposite way on the end. I'm going to try to fill in all them old crevices. There, like that. Now that don't look bad, and once it's painted, you'll probably never notice it. But I want to do better. So now I'm going to pinpoint on these swirls out here. And I'm going to take these swirls, and see, I don't like that little area right there. It looks like her finger got a little heavy there. And now what I'm doing is just trying to match swirls. And then go on the inside. Oops, there's a piece of junk in there. And then go on the inside and try to match the swirls up there too. And I want to fine line all my swirls way on out. Now, if you look at that, it looks a whole lot worse on TV than it does, or on camera than it does anywhere else. Now see, I've got one big swoop line right there, and I don't like that. So I come down here and I see her small swirls. I'm going to bring that on up and do it kind of in a line like she did. And I'm happy with that. From a distance, I cannot tell that there was anything there. Yeah, I'm very well happy with that. So now, I'm not going to zoom you guys in, but now I have to do up here. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Let's try to turn the camera around a little bit and go up. I have to do up here. So I'm going to do that without zooming in, just to be able to get it done. And it's the same size. It was a double box up here. Once again, get the excess off my hands and then blade it back off as much as I can. All right. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look at the swirls. Try to find the pattern that she was running in. Do the outside edges first, because this kind of helps blend them in with the existing wall. Got a piece of trash right there. I gotta get rid of that. Here we go. All right, now let's concentrate on her swirls. Once again, they're about the size of a grapefruit. Looks like most of them are running counterclockwise. A lot of times I have to run the opposite way to match her swirls with the wetness of this new stuff. So I just do whatever it tells me to do. And that right there, I'm not happy with the top. Let me get a little more mud on my hand. And when I say a little bit, I do mean just a little bit. I'm not happy up here. So I'm going to try to make this up here happy. A little bit too much, I think. All right, now let's try to make this up here happy. I think it was actually the rotation I was using there. I think I'm happy with that. Kind of go around all edges and look. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I've matched 3/4 of her swirls. I've got matched in. And the more swirls of hers that I get matched in, the better off that I am. Because then from a distance, you can't see that this was patched in. I think I like that. All right, now I got another one down here. I guess I can let you guys go ahead and watch that. All right, let me get down here on the ground. Let me get my mud bucket closer to it. All right. Now, I might be able to just kind of set that light there now and actually use my other hand. Because when I'm setting, my left hand is more comfortable to use. Now, I don't have to go quite as big on this one because this was a single plug hole. And basically what I'm touching up, in case anybody's wondering, is this, like this plug hole right here, that's a hole cut in the wall with a plug in it, used to be up here, but I can't use it up there because of my headboard. So I had to relocate everything. And there was a switch, a plug and a switch, and then a switch. All right, so now once again, let's go ahead. I have really good circles here to work with. A piece of trash there. And when I say trash, all it is dry drywall mud. Well, that's a really rough area right there. I'm trying to kind of make it not quite so rough, even though this will be behind the headboard and you will never ever see this. I think I like that. In fact, I can see down here, but that's not textured really that well at all. I can actually see the OSB chips. So, while I'm here, even though it's behind my headboard and I'll never see it, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lightly texture that. See, we never noticed it before because it was always behind something. There we go. And like I said, we're just matching her swirls. You can see the swirls very clearly. Just match the swirls and those are gone. And I'm going to have to look over here back beside of me here after a while. I might have to redo this seam over here. You can't really see it, but it's going to be right beside my bed where I sit. All right, so I don't think I need to do anything else on this wall. Let's get up and do a recap. Well, First, I've got to clean my hands. Hopefully this time I hit pause and not off. Okay, so let's do a recap. We got that one down there, textured. We got this one up here textured. And we got that one up there textured. And we got below the big seam textured. We got this over here filled in, and we'll get it textured tomorrow. And then I textured the one that was up there above the window. And yes, I've already swept up my mess. And got to remember, this is my bedroom, so I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. I did already sand this down. I filled in a few little knot holes and stuff that was in there. And yeah, that's nice. Feels all nice and smooth. I filled out a few knot holes that was in there. I'm not going to drop this all the way down because I am going to paint that probably tonight. Well, what's wrong with my blind? I hate these new blinds, by the way. I did get... If you guys watched my other video, I was getting everything prepped. I did get my sealant. I think that's the third coat. I'm getting ready to put on one more coat tonight. You can see, I don't know how well in this light that you can see. Grab my flashlight here. But it's still bleeding through in spots. So if you look up here, hey, it's not showing up on camera. There's a lot of dark coming through there. That was bare wood. And it just needs, I was just going to go in and touch up some things and do kind of like a partial coat. And, you know, they cheapened this Valspar 2000 paint almost to the point to where it's not worth buying. And that was their plan, I think. But I got a few little things I want to do tonight. Still yet. Some reshaping to do. And a little bit more mud work down here on a piece of trim that I patched in back when I first moved in. I want to see if I can make it look any better. And then I think I'm going to put my final coat of paint on the top. And then we know what time it is, right? When that's all done, that door has to come out. Which I've got it down to where, you know, all the trim's off. You know, there's not much holding on each side. There's nothing holding on the top, I don't think, now. It should be basically just pop it out of there, frame the wall up, run my electrical, and close it in. And then go on the outside, which is the pool room in there. You guys remember that. And put in insulation, put back in the insulation in this wall, which is this wall over here that I did all the electrical work in down low. Put all that insulation back in, and then put these two boards back. Well, I got to cut two plugs out on the opposite wall because I added two plugs in over there. Got to cut them out, put them two boards back up, then cut a board for the outside of this where the door is. And this will be ready to texture. It's such a large area. I am going to be able to run it flat right up against the other. So there shouldn't be any depth difference. So I should be able to put my new board up there, skim coat it, and let it dry overnight. Texture it the next day, let it dry overnight again. Put my piece of trim in down here at the bottom, because you can see there wasn't no trim down there because there was a door there. And make it look good. And then start painting the walls. The bottom trim and the walls. And like I said, this isn't... I got a popcorn kernel hung in my tooth. Ah, that's aggravating. This isn't all of it. You know, I still have Please excuse the mess over here. This is my bedroom. I still have this whole side of the room. And when I say the whole side of the room, I'm actually, when I'm done, let's try to get you over here. This is the wall. When I'm done painting, I'm going to paint to right here, which is one grid left on the ceiling. Same way over here. The door's already painted. I will paint to this side of the door over here, and then that side of the door there, which is about one grid left. And then I'll work over there and get all that done. And yes, I know you see a plug on that TV or on that wall over there. That is because that's where my TV is going to hang. But we have a surprise covering to go on this wall first. Stick around. We got a lot coming up. Let me raise you guys up here. I got drywall mud all over me. Let me get you out of the way of that light so I'm not blinding you. You can kind of see from here. I think, well, I was going to say the yellowing of the walls, but a lot of that has to do with the drywall mud. Well, you can see the difference. This was white. Well, now not your guys's. Okay, this was white, but this is new white. And you can see the big difference. So it's going to brighten it up and clean it up in here so much. So if you stick around, you can find out what the wall color is going to be. You're not going to believe it. If you think you've got to guess what color I'm going to go with, put it down in the bloop it down in the comments. But I can tell you it's not going to be your standard blue. I can tell you it's not going to be white anymore. I wouldn't classify it as a guy color. No, it's not pink. I just want to see what it's going to look like. So you guys stick around for that. And then you remember what's right there, right? You don't see nothing. There's nothing there, right? Well, there is a door that goes right there. And then that door leads into our surprise room on the other side. So there's a lot to go. A whole lot to go. And then once we're done with this is just, I don't want to say scratching the surface because we've done quite a bit. If you guys go back and look at my old videos, you'll notice that I built a 14 by 30 deck right outside here. That's what this door, when I move that door, when it goes over here, it'll lead right out on the deck. We put a hot tub in. We put and by we, I basically mean me, a 12 by 12 deck up on the pool. And yes, we put in a pool. We've got an outdoor kitchen coming up. It's already built. We just got to furnish it the way we want. I think I finally got that popcorn kernel. We have a pool room behind you guys. We've got a new room over here. There was a lot that went on this summer, but we still got a lot to do to complete these little things. We have vinyl siding to put on. We have to decorate the pool room, figure out how we're going to finish the inside of it. I've got a really cool idea on that. I'll kind of pass this through to you. I'm thinking, it depends on how much vinyl siding I've got left. I'm thinking about vinyl siding the inside of the pool room. Because, well, I have no reason why, other than I bought way too much vinyl siding and I can't return it now. I've never seen it done. It's an interior walls, but it's not heated. It's a deck floor. It's not heated, will never be heated. I don't know. Just kind of have to hang around and see, but let me know what you think of that. Have you ever seen the interior of a room, even though it's not connected to the house? It's a pool room. Have you ever seen anything like that vinyl sided on the inside, and what's it look like? I even thought about getting fancy and doing like one color vinyl siding up about waist high, and then switching over to the gray that I have now, which will match the outside. And if you go back and look, there's also a built-in refrigerator into it that faces out towards the deck. And I don't know, we got a lot going on, a lot of custom stuff. So follow along. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day and even better tomorrow and an awesome night. Thank you for following along with my bedroom remodel and everything else that's going on. And we'll see you guys on the next video or the next live stream. And please, please, please be safe. And don't forget, I'm my own cameraman. So I got to get up close and personal and gently poke you guys in the ear to turn this thing off. So we'll see you on the next video or next live stream. Have a super great day.